Hey, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to talk about the success of Elden Ring and how it kind of relates to Call of Duty in a sense, and why Elden Ring must not have a quote-unquote easy mode, because I've been seeing content creators as well as a few other people out there suggesting that the game should have an easy mode or whatnot, and I respectfully disagree. And it's also because of me noticing a pattern, and that has a lot to do with Call of Duty. So let's get right into it. So I think we could all agree, whether you are a pub stomper, whether you are a pro player, or whether you are a casual player when it comes to Call of Duty, especially a casual player back in the days before they started implementing all the things that they've implemented in Call of Duty now, such as the skill-based matchmaking, engagement optimization, matchmaking algorithm into the game, or whether it's things like taking away the prestige, the traditional prestige system, the basics of create a class, and trying to implement more things that really don't change too much of anything, but just create a lot of confusion and stuff like that, as well as injecting elements into the game, into its gameplay, that really just don't belong in the first place, in my opinion. And that's all pretty much attachment based. So they've taken a lot of the basics out of Call of Duty, which is part of what made Call of Duty in the first place. That was Call of Duty's identity. And they, by taking those things away and by injecting different things into the game, has caused Call of Duty to a certain degree have an identity crisis. And the only thing from a financial standpoint that's keeping Call of Duty successful is Warzone, which is a completely different game compared to the traditional multiplayer of what Call of Duty used to be. And it's not just that, it's also the fact that there's a ton of safe spaces, more safe space spaces than ever in the last few Call of Duty games. There's doors. Now granted, with the doors, there's no that pretty much doesn't exist in the Treyarch games, in this game specifically, Cold War. But I think you guys understand where I'm going with this. So basically, by adding a few other things that don't belong into the game in the first place, and taking away the things that made Call of Duty what it was in the first place, it is what pretty much has killed the traditional multiplayer in Call of Duty. It really is. So when you translate that sort of thing into Elden Ring, and you basically say, hey, there needs to be an easy mode, no, there does not, because eventually your game is going to lose its identity. What makes the Souls game a Souls game, as far as I understand, and I've been watching a lot of streamers, videos, and stuff like that, you name it, about the game, because it's very fascinating, and it's the most popular thing now, and the success of the game is absolutely amazing. And you have everybody, including your casuals, just enjoying the game, regardless of the fact that they're getting their asses handed to them. But there's this as well. Don't forget, there's also the fact that, and Thunder said this in his latest video, and he's absolutely right, you can actually avoid the boss fights, right? And basically just go around the world, find shit, discover things, and make your character really powerful. And then you can go back and do the boss fights, which would be a lot more accessible compared to going in with a lot less discoverability. And that's, again, the player's choice and the part of the open world. And again, part of what makes Elden Ring. So you've got the challenge of the boss fights, you've got the grind factor of finding loot, discovering the world, hidden places everywhere, and the combination of what those things are is what makes those games the Souls games, and what made them successful to this day. Even my best friend, one of my best friends, who is a casual gamer, very casual, and right now, he's obviously got a wife, he's got a kid, and he doesn't have the time that he used to game, like back in the day before he had the wife and kid, right? So, but he still likes to game on a very regular basis, and he's got his own room in his house or whatnot that is dedicated to gaming, his man cave and everything like that. And he sent me a text message not too long ago basically saying that Elden Ring is probably the best game he's ever played. And he's getting his ass handed to him a lot of the times, but he's just enjoying the living shit out of it because of everything that game has to offer. It's not just the fact that it's a challenge. There's more to it than that. There's more to Elden Ring than what meets the eye. It's not just the fact that you're going to die left and right and stuff like that, but there's also the fact that, hey, when you get through it, and when you make that adjustment, and you basically get through that boss battle, and you get the loot that the boss gives you, and ultimately the ultimate release of dopamine into the brain from the feeling of satisfaction of getting through that boss and exploring the worlds, getting all that stuff, upgrading your character and stuff like that. That is what makes Elden Ring, right? And that's what makes a Souls game a Souls game. So, so if you were to like make an easy mode, which sounds pretty harmless, right? Well, only if you're not that, if you can't see through the shroud of what lurks underneath. Because remember, Call of Duty had the prestige system. It had all these other things that made Call of Duty fun for everybody, right? Even if you didn't prestige, or maybe you like to do dark matter, maybe you like to do 100% of the challenges into the game to get, you know, an additional camo or an additional calling card or something like that, or just for the XP to level up to level 1000 or whatever it was. The game had a little bit of something for everybody. I remember back in the day when I was getting into Call of Duty, Black Ops was my first one, but then Modern Warfare 3, I remember I really started getting into Call of Duty when Modern Warfare 3 came out as well, and I was a 0.8 KD player, and despite the fact that I was getting my ass handed to me a lot in the game, I still had fun because it was easy to get a kill, and it was fun to get a kill whenever I did get one, and, you know, dying really didn't mean much to me. It's like, okay, we can still get in there, the gunplay still feels good, I can just level up my weapons, the more kills I get, I can still level up my weapons despite the fact that I may die a lot, or despite the fact, or if somebody calls in their streak, I'll update my launcher and I'll shoot down the streak or something like that, or I can upgrade my weapon proficiencies, or I can unlock this perk, or I can finally get to this level of prestige, or maybe I'm not that good a player, let's see how many UAVs I can get in a game or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's all these different things that make Call of Duty what it is. And when they started taking those things away is when Call of Duty really truly started to suffer. But they went the extra mile and implemented skill-based matchmaking, EOMM. And the thing is, now I know that Elden Ring is a different game, right? It's a single-player game at heart and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. If they took the little things like, if they took a chunk of the grind factor out of the game, the open worldness of the game to where you can discover things and put less things in there, or things that just really didn't matter or that didn't really make your character all that much more powerful. What if they had a microtransaction system in a game like Elden Ring to where, sure, you can get a couple of things here when you grind the game, but hey, the best stuff is when you actually spend real world money in our store and you can purchase these things that make you better or that make your character better and even look better on top of that, right? So you see where I'm going with this? And microtransactions is only the beginning. Because, again, you take the challenge away. That's part of what makes Elden Ring, or the Souls game, right? Because the players are not going to be they're not getting that same rush anymore. The game is not the same anymore. So the game's identity needs to remain intact in order for that game to truly be successful. And in the long run, because whether it's on social media, YouTube, whatever it is, if your game is successful and your game is that good, you will reap the benefits. You will succeed. And unfortunately, the thing is with Call of Duty, it is a yearly release game, so it's like they rinse and repeat the same shit every year, which works for them. But at the end of the day, again, if it wasn't for Battle Royale, I wonder what the Call of Duty numbers would be. I don't think the multiplayer in and of itself would be good to carry Call of Duty anymore if Battle Royale didn't exist, if Warzone didn't exist. Seriously. Because we all know the problems with Vanguard, we all know the problems that Cold War had, and we all know the problems with Modern Warfare 2019. And the cycle is continuing to go round and round for Modern Warfare 2022. So, and I wouldn't even be surprised after the acquisition happens, granted it does happen, with the Microsoft taking over and buying out Activision or whatnot and all the games that come with it. I wouldn't be surprised if not too much changed. Because I think at the end of the day, again, it's all about money, and money talks and bullshit walks, as the old saying goes. And the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if things like the SBMM and EOMM continue to be a thing, and if the prestige system, pretty much doesn't come back and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not too much change at all, unfortunately. So, and that is why Call of Duty's multiplayer has pretty much died, especially in comparison to where it used to be. And like I said, back in Modern Warfare 3, I used to be a 0.8 KD player, and I looked forward to getting into the game despite the fact that I struggled. It was the fact that the game felt good to play, it felt good getting a kill, and grinding to level up weapons, the prestige, and all that kind of stuff. And this was something that these things are appealing not just to the casuals, but also to the hardcore fans. And at the end of the day, implementing systems like SBMM or EOMM, for instance, are also going to take away from your casuals because they're never going to be on the other side. Because it's like, what is the point of getting better anyway? If you're gonna be punished by a gunfight to gunfight basis, and there's gonna be packet loss and a higher ping implemented into your connection simply because of this damn patent, because the game thinks you're too damn good, you're never going to experience the benefits that, of getting into any random lobby and basically getting a much higher percentage of kills, carrying your team to victory, or unlocking even more challenges because of your kills, or getting those higher score streaks because you're able to continuously make the right decision, and your gunfight skills have gotten a lot better, and you've put in the time and you've put in the effort to get better at the game. And those rewards are just never going to happen because the game is going to work against you. So again, even though Elden Ring in and of itself is a different game, these things in similarity could still happen with Elden Ring, because it doesn't take much either. Unfortunately, it doesn't take much to ruin a game. If all of a sudden the only, like for instance, to Elden Ring players out there, if all of a sudden they had a microtransaction system into the game to where the majority, or like let's say half, right? Even half of the things that you can get into the game for your character that not only make your character look better, but play better and be more powerful against those bosses. If half of those things were to be found only in the microtransaction store, only in a game store or whatnot, I think that would piss a lot of Elden Ring players off, right? I mean, especially since they'd be putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort to find shit, and all of a sudden they find shit, and it's like, well, this doesn't really do anything, but then they go into the store, and then they have to spend $20 in order to get something that would make their character more powerful, truly more powerful. Instead of grinding out the game or whatnot, they can just buy their way, pay to win or whatnot. I think that would piss a lot of players off. You see what I'm getting with this? Pay to win isn't just something that exists in multiplayer games. And the identity being taken away isn't just something that exists only for multiplayer games. It can happen to single player games as well. And that's another reason why I wanted to make this video, because it's great that right now, at least as of now, as me making this video, that there's no that the developers haven't caved in or whatnot and said, oh yeah, we're gonna make an easier version of the game. Because the thing is, if they were to do that, that would just be the beginning for all other shit to happen. Because that's all it would take. It would only take people to think, okay, how can we make this not only easier, but how can we profit off of this? You see what I'm getting at? So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about in this one, guys. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this, and how are you guys enjoying Elden Ring? What do you guys think of Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff? Let everything be known down in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.